And we are back with Ultimate Blerds. It's your boy Recruit Zero.
What it do is Uncle Charles.
And we are here today to talk about a key intersection of cultures, which is
Pillars in both.
The pillars.
In both.
Which is how hip hop and nerd culture first crossed paths. Now, for me...
When did you fall in love with hip hop?
For me, I think the first intersection of hip hop and nerd culture was hearing Wu-Tang talking about 36 Chambers and having all them clips of the martial arts movies
with the dubs,
the dubs and all that.
Choose the sword.
Yeah,
You will live.
that was probably my first experience of y'all on the bars, but y'all got y'all with
blended.
that too. That's what's up. So that's where it first started for me.
For me, it was the Sega Genesis.
Okay.
Like, it was the music, right?
Okay.
Like, it was the Game Over music from Altered Beast. It was Toe Jam and Earl. It was Streets of Rage 1, Streets of Rage 2.
Right.
It was the music in Sonic. It was, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I started getting, like, a taste of like my stuff blending. Like, I agree with you with Wu-Tang, but for me, it was in the video games before the music. And then I would just, in music, it was more so like references to stuff. Like, I know DMX at one point said we transformed like Optimus Prime. I was like, ooh.
Bars.
But in the beginning, I always found it was like just references to each other.
For sure.
And even from video games to just different cultures, it was always just kind of like a witty line here, a witty line there. I don't think it took off mainstream till like today's age. Yeah. But back in the 90s, I think it was very much so just peaks here and peaks there.
I got you.
Biggie, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Right.
Dead broke, couldn't picture this.
That's true.
And had the Sega, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Had Madden. I think Madden was another thing.
Yeah, because their soundtracks always lean
but I mean,
hip-hop.
like Madden 95, when you saw the 3 plays on the screen, like that, like Buster Douglas boxing. Like, like there were cultural moments in gaming that you just like. Games are always kind of around, and then I think in hip hop it was like a rich person's thing, right? To show off that you had a thing that you probably wasn't even playing. Like, I got Sega and Madden.
Yeah, that's true. Video games definitely were a portal for sure. Because I mean, this is well past the time I knew of the intersection between hip hop and nerd culture and all that, but. When GTA first came out, GTA 3 came out with the radio station, and they had Sean Price on there, all that, rising to the top. It was like,
Sean P.
Exactly. It was amazing to just be able to ride around the world in the game and listen to stuff I'd be listening to in real life.
Yeah.
So... that was definitely amazing.
And even going back, I mean, when you think about like graffiti and like artists, you know what I'm saying? Like there was like that through line of people like, because graffiti as a medium, you know what I'm saying, is not traditional. It's something that requires like an imagination and an eye and seeing things that like weren't the same. So like you would be pulling from anime, you know what I'm saying? Like I think most hip hop people and nerds are like give Wu-Tang like the like gold stamp of like y'all were the pioneers, because like kung fu movies were a thing that people did kind of watch, but people didn't bring it in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you start seeing it with like Doom, MF Doom. Like, I mean, had all references of that thing.
His album covers, in his bars, all type of stuff. Even I'm sure this was part of the lineage of what Wu-Tang started, but having those samples in his songs of clips from the old cartoons and all that type of stuff.
Different type of things. You saw it in the Boondocks a lot, right? Like it was the first time a lot of people probably heard Doom or Mad Villain. It's in there, you know what I'm saying? Like it's blending, it's bleeding. Samurai Champloo, right? You see it in their head. Oh, super. I feel like they were one of the ones that did it to like a T.
Oh,
like, the way in which they blended it.
And it was such like a combination you wouldn't think of in Samurai Champloo, but like when you saw it and heard it, it was perfect.
And then also, like, people don't think about it this way, but hip hop as an industry and gaming as an industry have very similar like growth trajectories,
right?
And like things going on. Like, for example, in the beginning, it was just developers making games. It was some companies, right? Like your Def Jams or whatever. But it was really your 2 or 3 people making the game, doing your thing, like in the early days. And then what happens? Your labels come in.
Yeah.
Your publishers come in, right? Like your publishers start eating up all your developers. Your labels start eating up your artists and other labels. Right? To the point where, like, now it's this thing where, like, when you look at music and you look at hip hop, they feel sometimes like they're in the same space of trying to figure it out. Like, we've gotten so popular and we're all over the place that in some instances we've lost that creativity. There are pockets like indie games and certain rappers, that are like doing similar things, but at the forefront, at the mainstream, the commercial side of it, it's now just like sequels.
Yeah.
It's now every artist sounding the same sequels.
That's fine.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's this I always find that if you want to know what's going on in hip hop, or you want to know what's going on in like gaming, so like in gaming in this particular realm of like all of geek culture, I'm gonna stay in the lane of gaming. Like, if you look at those two, like what's happening in one is either happening in the other at the same time or about to be happening to it, like, very soon.
Right. That's true. And that's an interesting parallel you bring up, because even beyond that, even like within the games, like you said with the sequels, how hip hop has sampling, and with games, how they're like, oh, we're going to do a sequel or reboot this. It's like, all right, you bringing back things you knew worked.
Oh, we gonna sample mechanics, right? Like how Batman had the fighting mechanic, then Spider-Man, jumped up on it, then somebody else jumped up on it. Like we do a lot of, or Elden Ring. Elden Ring was this. Now everybody's remixed Dark Souls.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna go back to Dark Souls, right? Like now everyone's remixing that, and putting their load. So everybody's remixing there. Even in like ownership. Right? Yeah. Like, you don't own music anymore. Like, you could, swear to God, I was listening to another podcast. I was listening to Joe Budden.
Yeah.
And they had a conversation about, buying music. Because most of them are real music heads, right? Like, they still love music. And so they're talking about, I still buy albums on like iTunes or whatever. So I was like, wait a minute. If I wanted to buy music, where would I buy it? Right? Like, what would how would I get I'm streaming now.
Exactly.
Right? And all I do is stream. It's damn near the same way with gaming. Like if you look at Xbox and Game Pass, like you ain't owning the games, you're just renting it. You pay your little $20 a month, install it, and you good to go. Like these things run so close together.
That's a good point for sure.
I also want to talk about another example of it going right is Logic. Logic was another artist, whether you liked how he rapped or not or whatever. That's a conversation for another podcast. He did some things where he was bringing in and not being scared to like bring in like anime and things like that. Like he had the voice of Spike. Narrating a whole album. You know what I'm saying? Like you see athletes doing it now. Athletes doing a Naruto run when they score a touchdown. Doing, you know what I'm saying? Like doing whatever.
Doing the Fortnite celebration.
Fortnite. We could talk for hours about Fortnite and dances. And like it's saying like, yo, there's a culture here. We gon' now. They did like the music industry and rip folks. They just stole the dances.
They definitely did.
Didn't Carlton, was it like Carlton the one who had to fight back to get his money or be like, we just can't do this?
Right.
But you see it all the time. You see it a lot in hip hop. You see it a lot in gaming. You see it in anime in weird ways, I feel like. It's one of those things where I feel like they just kind of like take little pieces of the culture.
That's true.
And like string it in.
They'll sample stuff. They'll reference things. Like, I mean, you get the Akira slide.
Yeah, everybody's done it.
Every here and there. Like, paying homage, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, it is interesting how those parallel with even how their business models are working now.
And part of it also comes from, you had a gate opening, right? Like you the backpack rapping, technology taking, what I'm saying? Like on some like Revenge of the Nerds type stuff. And it was just like, all right, well, we all ain't killing, drug dealing, stealing, willing, you know what I'm saying, and doing whatever. Like some of us, we just like to play our games. And we like to, I think about Currency. Like Currency consistently, talks about games and things like that.
Lupe Fiasco.
My God.
He built his whole career on like, I'm not killing people, but I'm still cool. I like nerd stuff. But like, I got bars, and you are going to be entranced by what I got to say.
Dopest like anime reference verses. It was like a Mike Shinoda track or something.
Oh yeah, Fort Minor.
Yeah,
spray paint and ink pen.
Yeah. Man rapped the whole scene.
Yes,
and it was just like,
I'm still mad that's not on streaming, because I'm like, every now and then I'm like, I need to hear those bars.
It's on YouTube, I think.
Oh, that's where I watch it, but I'm like,
it's never gonna be on streaming.
I mean, like, I need to hear. I need that on streaming.
But look at how they take albums. They take games. They took Concord.
Right.
Like,
it just doesn't exist.
Pray you got a refund.
Right. But for sure, Lupe, spray paint ink pen's one of the best verses he's ever had, for sure. Even Daydreaming, he has references to robots in that joint.
And you see, you've also seen him in the fighting game community playing Street Fighter.
Exactly.
You've seen a lot of people jump into the fighting game community.
Right. And he'd be training, doing the sword training, stuff like that. So it's like, he lived that.
You see a lot of, now if you're like Charles, pinpoint a place where you see gaming and or nerd culture and hip hop. It's in those fighting game tournaments.
Oh yeah, facts.
It's in the fighting game community has that on lock.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's such an intersection. Like, even here in Atlanta, they got Controllerized. It's like, you there to play games, you there to listen to hip hop, Trap Sushi, all of that. Like, you got, the intersection is just a given at this point.
Tekken has phone posits.
Right, it does.
Like, Tekken has phones. I'm gonna try to get me a pair. Like, Tekken has, that's how far it comes.
Yes.
And that's how far it has come. It's only gonna go further. My only fear for both hip hop and nerd culture is them being able to keep that creative edge.
Right.
I always fear that, like, we've in terms of hip hop, right? It's like we've mined all we could out of this, and now it's over, right? Like, sometimes I always wonder, like, what's next for things. And when it comes to hip hop, I've always been like, what's next? Like, what's the next trend? What's the next thing? Like, or is it over? Like, is it like no one cares enough to actually like push the thing forward? Or is it a situation where, like, there are people who are caring, but, like, the powers that be are just like, yo, like, we like it like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to just keep churning y'all out.
That's always the conflict. It's like the underground versus the mainstream. It's like, all right, am I going to put in the effort to do the deep dive and get to the underground stuff that's really hitting the spot of what I'm looking for? Or am I going to take the easy way and just get served the algorithmic playlist and just live with that?
And that's the other thing, the algorithm, right? Like, when we think about, like, what's served to us, like, even in, like, video game stores, like, they're not always just hitting you with, like, the deep cuts.
That's true.
There's some payola to be at the top of the marketplace.
It gotta be.
There's some conversations to be at the top of the marketplace, right? Like, I mean, think about it like this. Black Ops 6 drops, like, soon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're already talking about the next, like, Call of Duty. It's like, this was not even out yet.
Not even out.
This is the machine.
Yeah.
And what do you take us for? Yeah, like I find myself again looking for new things in both areas. Mm-hmm. Like when it comes to hip hop, I feel like I'm getting to that point, and I don't want to get there, but I can see my little car slowly driving that way of being like, this is what I listen to, and I stay in this little pocket, and I've not listened to anybody new.
I mean, honestly, I'm already there. Like
I don't want to be there.
I built my playlist on Spotify. Like if I happen upon something that serves me that I'm like, oh, I like that, I'll add it to the playlist of stuff I know I like, and I just run that. And I'm just like, all right, I'm not trying to do no deep dive between 10 songs of whackness to get one tight joint.
People don't do albums anymore.
Right. And the thing with that's sad is that applies to both the consumer and the artist. Yeah. Consumers don't buy albums and artists don't make albums. They make singles because of the ringtone epidemic way back.
Just like we make online games like that you just continue to play because you ain't going to take time to go through this entire game and all of its capacity. So let me ask you this, like, what's your genre of game? Like in gaming, like what's your genre? Like where do you hang out
I like adventure games, but that ebbs and flows. So, and my time ebbs and flows. So adventure games I like when I have time. When I don't have time, I stick to sports games and shooters because I can hop in and hop out. I don't have to worry about, I got to do X, Y, Z. It's like I got an hour or two to play a few matches and then I'm done.
What you said is also like the gateway to hip hop, right? Mm-hmm. Like easy, like Madden, 2K. Like people always talk about songs that they've learned and heard from playing that. One game that I didn't play, but it's de facto. And like, if we didn't talk about it, I feel like we get talked about in this conversation. It's the Def Jam fighting games.
Oh yeah, Def Jam Vendetta was crazy.
So you played it?
I played it when they were first out. I wish they would redo them, but
you know why that will never happen.
I mean, people aren't going to pay for the music royalties.
Yeah,
and like I feel like also there's not enough iconic artists to do that again.
You would just reheat the same people that you did.
It'd be like old versions or new versions of the old characters. Because now I couldn't even name new artists that I'd be like, that's believable that he's pile driving this guy.
But that's one of the one times, like, again, it's one of the one times where, like, people venture over to the culture, make something.
Right.
And then it's like, never come back again. For whatever reason.
I mean, we got what? 2 of those? 3 of those? 2? So, I mean, that's a pretty good run for like something that is a pretty niche concept.
Grand Theft Auto 5 was another one.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto for sure.
Franklin and Lamar.
I'm waiting for 6. I need that before PS10 comes out.
Yeah, you get it when the PS10 comes out. I mean, I'm trying to think of like what other like areas have we seen like hip hop and like nerd culture lately. Like Meg is like a clear, easy one. Mm-hmm. She's been like, she's been on a tear. Yeah, she's had videos. You know what I'm saying? That look like games.
Yeah.
I hope we blow. I'm gonna look dead at you, and I'm gonna say, Meg, if you watch this, come on the show. We'll have a special episode. We'll watch whatever anime you want to watch. We'll play whatever game you want to play. Come holler at us. I got some questions.
Come holler.
I got some questions.
We trying to build the nerd culture together.
But she's doing a great job. I already mentioned Logic was another one. Currency's another one who's been kind of doing things. Griselda is one that like is like West Side Gun and Conway like love wrestling.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they got an album Hall and Nash too. Like that is geek as hell.
That's true. In that vein, Action Bronson also.
Yeah,
he hit with the sports and the wrestling references.
Yeah. Like so wrestling. Definitely. I think it's just like an all black. It's Jay, Bianca, and like one other person. Like we're dominating the WWE right now. We've come a long way from the Nation of Domination.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then there's what's her name? Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I've seen her in the airport one time in real life. She is fine. I don't really fan. There's not too many people I get like tongue tied. I don't fan out, but like she's very nice. Yeah, very nice. But man, like the photos, that's a very attractive woman. Very nice woman too. Like some people are like, don't talk to me. It was like late.
Yeah.
And, some people are like, hey, like...
back up, buddy.
Yeah, and I always was like, yo. I just like, try to play it cool. Like, yeah, you the one winning, beating everybody ass. It's like, she's like, yes, it's me. And I was like, yo. I told her, I was like, she's dope. Like, keep doing it. Like,
right.
This is when she was on her Goldberg run.
Okay.
And was it AEW? Mm-hmm. Yeah, when she was just like, walk out and just like slam somebody and just dip. But you're seeing it there, right? You're seeing the influence in wrestling.
For sure.
Like you see people pulling from wrestling. You see it with Outkast, right? Like Outkast was doing the Aliens. Their album was a comic book.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like that's another one. You mentioned Action Bronson already. We talked about Doom.
Talked about Lupe. I
feel like we're missing somebody though. I feel like there's somebody in the back of my mind who I'm just like...
I mean, Childish Gambino does. He mentions nerd stuff for sure.
He does. The man was Lando.
Right, he was Lando, and he was in the talks for being Miles Morales before they took forever to make the first movie.
That's true. Random person, Rhymefest, had a song called Chicago. Mm-hmm. And he was like a superhero. That was another comic book.
Right.
Wale and French Montana had a song called Back to Ballin'. Mm-hmm. And that was like a Streets of Rage style video. Okay. Like they went like whole 16-bit animated. Like that was a joint.
Even Kanye, I mean, his earlier stuff, he had for the Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger video, full of Kira references and that.
Yo, that song, was that the one that was on like every game trailer?
Probably.
Yeah. I remember that like Kanye has had like in gaming, Kanye has had a tear.
Yeah.
For like his songs being like the trailer.
Yeah, he was in, I mean, I don't know the man, so he might still rock with the nerd stuff, but for sure it was clear in his music in a specific time frame that he was getting that, had the Takashi Murakami artwork, all of that type of stuff. So he definitely had nerd cred for that.
He definitely did. 21 Savage, I think, had a song with Mortal Kombat.
Okay. He had a skin in Call of Duty, I think.
Nicki Minaj had a skin. Yep. Snoop had a skin. Yep. Snoop's in everybody.
Which shows the crossover even more.
Yeah, like we are there. Call of Duty's another one. All the commercials. I think KD was in one.
Yeah. KD was in one. I think Drewski.
Yeah.
Like, they know who's rocking with the nerd culture.
It's not hip hop, but he was like a fixture in hip hop at a time. Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah, fact.
Tiger Woods, y'all. Yeah. Like Tiger Woods had us all on the golf course. You know what I'm saying? Like wrong outfits. But you see that in golf though. Hip hop has invaded golf.
Yeah, right? For sure.
Like, I mean, East Side golf.
Schoolboy Q, he golfs now.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely like it's so many crossovers with the culture.
Let me ask you this. If you were to give a hip-hop artist advice on, like, blending the culture or figuring out their way into nerd culture, like, where would you direct them and what advice would you give them?
I mean, for me, the first step is being authentic. Like, you can't just let it be a money grab. Like, you got, what was it? T Grizzly, I think. He went pretty viral because he
viral. That man has a following on Twitch.
He started his own GTA server. Yeah, and was hosting that. He's like, I make more money from this than doing music.
Have you ever watched? I watched T Grizzly stream.
I watched it a few times. Yeah, so it's like that. It's like being authentic. Yeah, because I mean, I feel like in a niche culture, people can tell when you're just there for the money. So being authentic for sure. You know, Twitch streaming. We forgot T-Pain. T-Pain is like amazing with the intersection of the culture. It's not that
T-Pain has ever left, but T-Pain has had a like digital renaissance.
Yeah.
That man is everywhere. Like,
and he's like, I make more money doing this. I'm streaming in my crib rather than having to go on tour.
Telling stories, making beats, showing his car collection,
listening
to music. Like, T-Pain has like...
Right. So I think T Grizzly, T-Pain, they really show the authenticity and just the truth. Having respect for the culture is key to getting into it. Yeah. And just having fun. Like, it don't got to be too serious. Who trying to be hard on a video game? Like, play that, enjoy that joint, and people will come to you and be your community.
Yeah.
Because if you already got a following, people want to know more about you. So throw on a Twitch stream. Yeah. Yo, I like playing such and such. Come watch. Like, that's easy money to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to shout out Von Miller. For the Bills, he streams.
Yep.
Like, and I've caught a few of his streams. So, get into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my advice would be try something. I would always tell people this. If you're new to anime, like, go with Cowboy Bebop.
Right.
Go with Samurai Champloo.
Right.
They're not long. They don't require a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're grounded in, like, a way in which you can like relate to it.
Exactly.
If having powers and shooting key blast are too much for you in the beginning, start there. But also like between gaming, books, tabletop games, like pay attention to the stories.
Exactly.
Because hip hop artists are storytellers.
Facts.
And there are a ton of stories that you could tap into that like can fuel your creativity. Like think about it like that way of like tapping into stories that you probably never would have thought of.
Exactly. Because there's so many parallels to stuff that is like you can find a way to talk about something that other artists may have talked about, but the way you come at it with this new inspiration could be completely unique.
And like streaming, man, like those communities, you know what I'm saying? When you build your community, they just are happy to like be working with you, like talking to you. It's a way to like connect like directly.
Exactly.
And it gives you like a sense of freedom again to try something new. Like get on stream. Like you don't have to put your face on. Like T-Pain is out there regular. I've never known T-Pain, but like watching him online, I'm like, I feel like this is him every day.
Right, exactly.
I feel like this is not
authentic.
Yeah.
And it's not like a meet and greet or like a concert tour. Like you're relaxing, you're doing something you enjoy, and people are happy to be there interacting with you doing the same thing. So it feels a little more low effort than the normal things you might have to do as an artist to connect with your audience.
And I've seen this a lot. Just stop. If you're it's gonna sound very haterish, but I don't know no other way. I feel like I hate on something once an episode. If you're like a marketing firm, like, or whatever, like, stop going so, like, when it's like, yo, we got the hip hop influence in the thing in here. It's like, yo, you don't need all that. Like, it ain't gotta be
too much sauce.
It's too much sauce. Like, you gotta dial some of the sauce back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dial it back. Like, just be authentic. Like, we as people who are like geeks, nerds, or whatever, like, are very chill people. Like, yeah, we get excited.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be in the building like, yo, we got the event going on. It's your boy. We here. You know what I'm saying? In the event, we've got the games going. It's like, yo, chill out.
let us just enjoy this, man.
Yeah, like when McDonald's gives me like commercials for like us, and I'm like, yo, tone that back some. Like, yo, you ain't gotta sing to me about all beef patties. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the black McDonald's. We gotta do an episode on the black McDonald's commercials.
Yo. We do, cause like, yo, crispy chicken and lettuce, 3 cheeses, wrapped up, tortilla.
Yo, Mary J, Lil'
crispy
Kim.
chicken, fresh lettuce. Let's get out of here if I get in trouble. Mary J gonna slap me if she ever sees this. I got your 3 cheeses.
But for sure,
wrapping his backhand.
We've had, I mean, hip hop, nerd culture, side by side, locked in, and I think it can only go up from here. And it's so great to be able to have that representation in 2 things that we love.
Look at us.
Look at us. We here, baby.
The example, baby.
MM doing, baby. Holla at us. Ultimate Blerds. We're out of here. We'll see you on the next one.
We out. 3 cheeses. Tortilla.